Can you tell us who you are?
My name is Rebecca Minjarez. I am the barber instructor at Cosmetology and Spa Academy.
And what do you do?
Um, I help the barbers. First of all, they're interested in becoming barbers, so they come here and I teach them everything I know about becoming a barber.
When did you get into hair?
I went to school when I was 16 years old, so I've been doing this for 32 years. Yeah, so after COVID, when everything got like shut down, um, I ended up feeling some kind of way about going back to the shop, and shortly after that, I retired from the shop. And then, but I knew whatever I had, that I was going to do, like it had to be something with hair because this is all I know. It's all I've done my whole life. So I went back to school. So legally, I was never a barber. So I was a cosmetologist and a cosmetology instructor, but I've always worked in barber shops. So legally, I couldn't use a razor, without becoming a barber. So I went back to school and did a crossover program here. And and it took me like 500 hours, which is equivalent to about like 4 months, 5 months. And and then I noticed like how many of like the barbers were like struggling, like with stuff. And there was like not a lot of hands-on stuff. And so I ended up, even then before becoming an instructor, just kind of, helping them out and trying to find their way and showing them easier, better ways how to fade hair, or whatever they were doing. So, and then I was like, this is where God landed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why hair?
Why hair?
Yeah.
Um, I always thought that too because there's no barbers in our family, there's no beauticians in our family. So the only like thing I can ever think of is like I come from a really, really big family. And my grandmother would be like every 2 weeks, like in the kitchen, like all the boys, my grandfather, like everybody, like get in here, like I'm cutting your hair. So I don't know if that was ever like my fascination, like, ooh, I want to do that. But I don't know. I love the people, and I feel like behind the chair, that's where I'm the happiest. Like that's my place. So,
Boy or girl hair?
both
Oh, okay.
women, men, children. I prefer. I think more men, boys. Yeah, yeah. I like the clipper work. Everybody that's in the class is all like in different places, like in their journey of becoming a barber. So like he's taking a test right now. um like a lot of them are different chapters of their book. On this other side over here, they're doing like a little bit more hands-on work. And then I have another room across the hall. Them are like the more senior students that are a little bit more advanced, where they don't need as much guidance anymore. So once they get to like a certain place in their education, then they go over there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but for the most part, like there's 18 chairs in here, like all 18 chairs are full. So then I have three more across the hall, three guys over there.
College.
Well, when I went to school when I was 16, I was a cosmetologist, went to school for cosmetology. Not really like even I was young, so never even really took time to find the difference between what is a barber and what is a cosmetologist. Like I was just like wanted to go to school. And I did. I finished. So by the time I was 18, I was licensed. And then 2004, I went back and I got my cosmetology instructor license. So I taught for a little while doing that, but I just don't feel like it was the right time in my life. You know, um, I still had children at home. That needed me there too. And I just don't feel like that was like the right time to jump into that. And I think there's a right time for everything.
Where was your first start when you got your certification?
Certification. So first start, my first job, I worked at Dukes and Lords. Dukes and Lords. There's one at Northtown. There was one in Belvedere, 11th Street, Rockford Avenue. I worked at all of them. I actually worked there for 10 years. Yep. And then after Dukes and Lords, I went to CJ's. Um, that was on 18th Avenue. There was one in McChesney Park. I worked there for 5 years, and I was a manager over there. And then after that, right there, um, I had a built a really good clientele, right? So after that, right there, I was like, no, I'm tired of giving these people half the money that I make, because there they were all commission jobs, so you get a percentage of what you do, So I was like, no, and I was there from like 9 o'clock in the morning, sometimes to like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, and you're taking half of my money, and not to sound like that, but you know what I mean. I felt that I was well off enough to like go out on my own, and that's what I did. So eventually, I opened up my own shop. Yep. So I had a shop on Rockton. I was there for about like 6 years, and then I went into booth rent for the next 12 years, and then um, with the same guy, I worked with the same guy until up to like COVID.
Was it easy starting your own?
Well, I think it was easy given that I already built like a clientele, the clientele that I had, you know. Um, yeah, the clientele is what makes your business, definitely.
Is that what you going into it? Is that what you always had in mind? Like I got no, or just
No, not at all. Not at all. I just went into it like with the love and the passion of like this is what I want to do. You know, and I feel like if this is what you love and this is what you're passionate about, like the clients will come, right? Just be good to people. Yeah. I think that's like first and foremost. You got to be good to people, and then the rest will just fall into place. It's like that 80-20 rule,
yeah.
you be good to the people, and then 20% is, the other 20 is just like your work ethics. I recommend, and even like I tell these guys, be good to people. Be good to people. That's how you're going to build your clientele, and especially like here in Rockford, word of mouth is everything, right? If you're not good with people, you're not, it's how you treat people, you treat them bad, this person's going to tell this person and I'm never going back here again and blah blah, and then that person tells the next person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, it ends up bad. So I really feel like being good with people is like the way to go. There's so much different. Like every time somebody sits in your chair, it's something different, right? It's like you work in a factory and you do the same thing like all day, every day. Not when you're a barber. There's like, different personality, a different haircut, a different, something about that person, you know what I'm saying? Every time somebody else gets in your chair. So I think that's great because it's not like cookie cutter, you know what I mean? Like same thing over and over. I will say this though. There's been times in my life I'm like, oh my gosh, if I got to do one more bald fade, like after 8 bald fades in a row, and you're like one more, and I'm gonna scream, right? But no, there's not a haircut that I like any more or less than another one.
now have you noticed an advancement in hair now
Oh yeah,
from when you started till now?
oh yeah, for sure. Like and it's always a trend. You know what I mean? It's always a trend. Like when I started, what you had like buzz cuts and flat tops, and now it's like so advanced. We got some razor cutting, we got some spray on linings, we got enhancements, we have all these different things now, like we have men with, getting color and like crazy color. It's not just like your normal brown, black, blonde. It's, so I think in this industry too, like things are always evolving, things are always changing, like nothing stays the same, you know. But I will say, like, what goes out of style usually comes back into style, right? It like kind of like just like goes in a circle, you know. Just like right now, like the mullets, you know what I mean? Like they were gone, now they're back.
Slowly creeping back in.
Yeah. Well, I would say most of the people that are interested in barbering have already started somewhere.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They've already like experienced or, you know, like they've already tried to like play around with it a little bit, you know, in some kind of way, whether it was cutting their brother or their dad or their best friend or, you know, somebody. So I don't think there's really like too many people that come into barber school that say, I've never held a pair of clippers in my life. Like, you know what? Like, do you want to say anything to any of the students or?
Yeah, if you guys don't mind, I would like to get like a little video.
Jose Harris.
And what do you do?
I'm a student here. I've been cutting hair for about 10 years now. I started drawing as a kid, and I think the drawing just transformed into like the hair cutting, you know, the techniques behind it and stuff.
Do you cut hair anywhere?
Out of my house right now at the moment, um, I do plan on opening up a barbershop soon as soon as I'm done with school, if everything goes well. So that's why I'm here.
And where can people reach you at?
Right now through my Facebook, Jose Harris. Um, I'm trying to promote more like business pages right now. I'm in the process of that right now, to be honest. So that's what I'm working on right now.
My name's Victor. You know, I cut hair, barber of the trenches. Y'all add me on Instagram. Um, I cut hair. I'm a barber. Currently in school right now, trying to get my credits and basically be a licensed barber.
What made you want to get into hair?
Really, just drawing or whatever. I had a lot of family members. I got an uncle that cut. I got a cousin that cut, and I was like, I wanted to put my art somewhere. You feel me? So that's why I wanted. That's why I'm like, all right, cutting hair. It was either gonna be this or probably like tattoos or whatever. I'm scared of tattoos because the black, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to mess up nobody's arm or whatever. The black get in the way. So yeah.
And where do you cut hair anywhere?
I cut hair at the crib. I do house calls. You know, I cut hair at school between the hours of 9 and 4:30. So
And where should people contact? What's the overall haircut you like to do?
I came in here thinking like I'm just gonna be cutting like, you feel me, my style of hair. So I like fades or whatever. You feel me? So I like the blend and transition fades. I love the linings. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, you know, I got a lot of work to do as far as like, you know, like other race, you feel me, hairstyles or whatever, but blending, I like to do fades a lot. Yeah.
My name is Quell Parker. I'm from Chicago, now in Rockford, going to school to get my license to be a licensed barber. Planning to be a travel barber once I get my license.
Why the move to Rockford?
So I moved here when I was younger with my mom. You know, it's cheaper living, price of living. And it was just to get away from a lot of stuff that was going on in Chicago. But I have had the opportunity to travel and see different places of the world. That's why I do want to be a travel barber, because I know demographic is everything. So it's, you know, bring value to all different places of the world with my skills. You know?
And why hair?
I actually decided to become a barber because I have a passion for a lot of things, and my biggest passion is probably for people. And behind the chair, you are so many things besides a barber. You become a therapist, you become a friend, you become more than just a barber, you know. And that's really why I wanted to do it, is to just be able to influence in a bigger way, you know.
Uh, how long have you been coming here?
I actually just started school in August. My first actual haircut was in November. Yeah.
And what overall haircuts do you like?
Honestly, I'm open to trying all haircuts and getting my hands into all types of hair. Recently, I'm trying to better getting kids haircuts down. Patience, getting patience with them, and just mastering, the kids, because I know a lot of people don't want to deal with the kids. I'm one of them right now. So,
I see.
you know.
And where should people reach you for a haircut?
You can find me on all platforms at QP Cutting Up, on Facebook at Quell Parker. Um, yeah, pretty much at QP Cutting Up if you want to find me.
Can you tell us who you are, man?
I'm Eric Perkins, go by the name of Eclipse, best barber alive. Well, so I started school in April, but I've probably been like messing around cutting hair ever since probably like middle school, like starting in 8th grade. Like me and my friends like playing with each other, like lining and stuff like that. Then like when I got closer to high school, I used to like mess around with my like uncle hair and my nephews, but it wasn't really like too much a bigger deal of a cut, just something simple. But I ain't know as much if I did once I came here. So yeah.
Why hair?
Why hair? I don't know it. I always told myself like if I ain't find a decent like factory job or something, it's like it's either gonna be haircutting or the job or whatever. And my friend called me one day like he is signing up, but when I came to sign up, he ain't never signed up with me. So yeah, now I'm here.
How do you like it so far?
I know I like it. Probably like my first day was kind of crazy, but it was cool. But after that, we came here to classroom. Everybody was here like super supportive and stuff. Like you see, like ain't nobody like judging nobody. Like we all here helping each other. And I was like, yeah, something I wanted to be around.
And where do you cut hair?
Right now it's either here or at home or house calls.
Where should people reach you at for a cut?
Y'all can follow me at Eclipse the Barber on Instagram or Eric Perkins on Facebook. And remember, to be the best, you just gotta be me.
All right, can you tell us who you are?
Josh, milsaps.
And what do you do?
Cut hair.
Why hair?
I don't know. Since like middle school, I always wanted to be a barber.
What was your first haircut?
Mid fade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Not really, but it didn't come out that good.
Yeah.
Or like there was times where I was nervous, like in the middle of it, but then I just like kept doing the steps.
And how long have you been practicing hair?
Since August.
What is the thing? What is the best thing about?
I feel like you can do it like your own way, like the like fading. You can do it like different steps at a time and find like what fits for you and like customize it to your liking.
Where do you cut hair?
Just here in my house sometimes.
And where should people get a hold of you for a cut?
Josh underscore cuts 04.
My name is Andrew Alvarado. I'm a barber, currently a student right now at CSA College for barbering.
And why hair?
Um, I I had a friend that was in the cosmetology industry, and she kind of put me onto it. Uh, Kennedy Crowley. Uh, she just kind of opened my eyes a little bit about the whole industry and like how much you can make off of it for your independent self. And that I always just thought as a barber was like what you pay them $15 for a cut, skedaddle. But it kind of opened my eyes a little bit about the industry, and I just dove right into it because I just kind of wanted to do something with my life, you know, take big risks for the first time. Since August, since I began school of last year.
What is your overall haircut you like to do?
The taper right now,
Mhm.
kind of get the fade in, learn how to fade. You can just see it more vividly with the taper because it's a simple cut, but I would prefer that. Oh, I can do it here at the school. I have a shop that I built at my house too, so I've had a couple people already come over and they would get cut over at my house. So I'm just kind of trying to get the timing down because you could watch at least 2 movies while I'm doing a cut, which is not good, but I'm trying to work on it. So I got all platforms. Instagram at Drew Cuts, Facebook Drew Cuts, and for Snapchat Alvarado Andrew 5, all lowercase.
My name is Josh Crawford, and I just pretty much began here in January. So yeah, I'm pretty much known for basketball here. Uh, I'm part of the team that made it in 2019, Rockford East state basketball team. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff like that going on.
And why hair?
I chose this school because basically I wanted to get my barber's license to be able to like start my own business and pretty much just work wherever I want to work.
What is your overall haircut you like to do?
I would say my favorite haircut to do would have to be maybe I would just say the fade, maybe because it's the easiest, the fade pretty much. But I'm willing to do all types of hair, so yeah, the fade.
Now, can anybody catch you on the basketball court?
What do you mean by that? Catch me?
Yeah, like, do you still be on the basketball court?
Oh yeah, I go to the YMCA, local YMCA's from time to time. Yeah, nobody can really still guard me. Definitely after I came back from Michigan, from so yeah, nah, can't really guard me.
Where do you cut hair?
Eventually I plan on cutting hair here before I have to get my completion of 200. So I have to wait on that, and then other than that, I will cut at home before I used to come here. So yeah, I've been cutting since 2020, so about 2.5 years now, almost 3.
And where should people follow you?
You can actually follow me right here, Joseph _ Junior 78 on Instagram, and on my Snapchat, JC Curry 5, all lowercase, all together. And yes, you can reach me from there.
Who you are?
I'm Dannielle.
And what do you do?
I am a barber in training, so I'm a barber student.
And why hair?
I always was interested in cosmetology, but I decided just to go with the barber program instead, and just really no reason other than I wanted to.
Now, do you cut boy or girl hair?
Both.
What is your overall haircut you like to cut?
Right now, I'm more comfortable with women's hair.
Where do you cut hair?
Mainly here.
Where should people follow you?
Soon to be Barber D on Instagram. I'm a professional photographer and a professional medium and tarot reader.
Why did you get into pictures?
I was always interested in pictures, and my grandma gave me my first camera before she passed.
What kind of camera was it?
Honestly, I wish I could remember. It was just like a point and shoot little thing.
Okay. Now, do you provide services?
Yes.
And where should people reach you for those services?
Shoot and glow photography on Facebook or Instagram.
And can you sing us a lullaby?
No.
My name is Ahsan Kadhim. I'm 22 years old.
And what do you do?
I currently obviously go to school for barbering, and I also work at a tobacco shop. It's a full-time job. Yeah.
And why hair?
So hair is like one time out of nowhere I was just bored and I wanted to do something to my hair. I didn't want to go to any barber So I wanted to do something with my hair. So the first thing I did, grabbed me a piece of clipper and run it over my head. And I was so disappointed, you know, it was just something I wasn't expecting to, you know, come up to. And then ever since that time, I just wanted to learn how to cut hair so I can cut my own hair instead of going to a barber, which has happened actually. You know, I started learning hair, and the first thing I did is cut myself, and then I started cutting people.
How long have you been cutting?
Well, I started cutting about 2 years ago. I stopped, but then I've been constantly doing it for 7 months now, 8 months.
What is your overall haircuts you like to do?
There's not a specific haircut. It's really depends on what the client asks for, you know. I just try to give out my best on every haircut I do.
Where do you cut hair?
I cut hair at my house. I made a little room. I set it up. I brought all the tools I needed, and I also cut in school.
And where should people contact you for a cut?
I have a business Instagram page. It's called Golden Cuts 815. You know, when people, it's I found it simple like name, you know, easy. As soon as I tell it to someone, it just gets right in their head. Golden Cuts 815.
Like, do you do anything else on the side besides haircut?
Yeah, I do custom furnitures with my dad. Yeah. So, you know, I have 3 days off, so that's where I spend it. I go to my dad's shop, I help him out.
You, where is the shop?
It The shop my dad works at, it's on 7th Street. Yeah. It's his shop. We do custom made furnitures. It's the Middle Eastern style, so yeah, requires a lot of work.
Yeah, just like that, man.